All right, it is 13 minutes after 7. A quick look at traffic in the downtown. A crash at E Street, northbound Cap City Freeway. Traffic is backed up all the way past Highway 50. Expect delays if you're going through that direction. And now, let's see. What are we doing now? We have... time for our guest announcer.
And now Sonoma's worst Mexican. Here's Dan.
Thank you, Jane.
I'm happy Jane fixed that. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Scale me back to Sonoma, which is where I belong. Sean, a bunch of things to talk about. Welcome back, by the way. Let's start with the Chicago shooting report. There are two reports. Last week, 36 shot, 6 dead. This weekend, 18 shot, 1 dead. This report is sponsored by CrowdStrike. Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, my mic was off.
Oh, okay.
I was laughing at your comment, and I don't know how to run this thing. I've been gone for a week, Dan. I don't know what I'm doing.
You'll come back to you. It's like riding a bike. Yeah. CrowdStrike, which I hear there's a couple.
You don't want to see me ride a bike.
There's a couple of job opportunities at CrowdStrike. We destroyed that joke, so let's move right along here.
Yeah.
All right, a bunch of things to talk about. All right, let me ask this audience this question: does anyone think that the Democrat Party was not responsible for the attempted assassination attempt 9 days ago? The answer, of course, is yes. They're completely responsible for this. Yes.
You mean you don't think that this 20-year-old kid just jumped up and decided he wanted to shoot somebody famous?
Answer me this. How does a 20-year-old with no life experience, who's dead set on killing a former president, find and goes to an event where he knows he's going to be, finds not just a small breach of security, but finds a gigantic gaping hole in security? That doesn't happen by accident. The answer is he was told where to go. He was guided. It's the only possible answer that makes any sense whatsoever. And I'm very disappointed with conservative media who hasn't put two and two together. You just heard Gallagher say that it's a failure of Secret Service. No, it's an intentional failure of Secret Service. And so that's the only answer. And you want to find the traitors and the moles, and God knows how many they are. The conservative media focused in on the failure, and also they're blaming DEI hires, which I know didn't help. But that's not the point here. The point is this was an intentional act, and it's the only thing that makes any sense for this 20-year-old to get as close as he possibly did. He had over 30 minutes to scale a few rooftops, get the best possible shot, and not be bothered on any stretch. That's not possible unless it was intentional from within. And this woman Cheadle, who's the head of Secret Service, doesn't she have the biggest guilt look on your face you've ever seen? You knew she had a lot to do with this, and you know she's going to be stumbling over her answers as she's questioned later today. But let's back up even further here. We all knew, and even Gallagher admitted this, that Trump, who has been persecuted for years, especially in the courts, who was supposed to have been sentenced 11 days ago, on the 11th, and that was postponed because of the Biden failure on the debate stage and the ruling from the Supreme Court a few days later. But we know that had Trump been sent to prison, he would have died in prison with or without his security detail. Because, again, that was a plan that they had set in motion for years and years and years. That all failed, again, on the debate stage and with the Supreme Court. So what we saw was 9 days ago was Plan B. This was a backup plan to get rid of Donald Trump. And, again, look at the timing. A week before the Republican National Convention was supposed to have started. So this all fell apart on them. And, again, it was just the grace of God that Donald Trump was still here. But my biggest problem is this, again, with conservative media not willing to speak up and say the truth. Democrats are responsible. This was not some random act. It's not possible for them. And the blame should go towards the Democrats moving forward.
I think a lot of people feel the same way you do. And that looked to me like a professional job.
And I'm questioning everything. It was a professional job, and I'm questioning everything about this because what's the first rule of assassination? Kill the assassin, which was done.
Yeah.
So I question even that because you don't want to kill the assassin because that person, that 20-year-old, had a bunch of information in his head. And these sharpshooters, these professionals from the Secret Service, I mean, they can hit a moving insect 300 yards away. Now, they blew this kid's head off. His head was completely blown off with whatever Head said he might have had, because again, I'm convinced he was in communication with the traders that be to guide him through this whole thing. And he was probably told, "Oh, just get up on the roof, you'll be fine, and we'll get you out of there." He didn't expect to have his head blown off.
He didn't know he was the patsy.
No, he did. He did. So tomorrow, let's talk about Biden resigning. He didn't want to do this by himself. He was resisting even as late as Friday or Saturday. There's way more to this story than just what you're hearing. So we'll talk about this tomorrow.
Indeed we will, Dan. And as always, you're a fine American.
And the worst Mexican in all of Sonoma.
And that is a badge of honor.
I wear
is
it
it not?
I wear it proudly, yes.
We'll see you later, Dan.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you. It is 19 after 7.